Next up, at UFC Vegas 95, we have a newer matchup on the card. We got Danny Barlow taking on Nikolay Veretennikov. And this is an interesting matchup because a lot of people are convinced that 8-0 Danny Barlow is the future, that he's the real deal, that this guy is going to run through this division and really make a name for himself. And he might, because he looked very good in that last fight. He is 8-0. So obviously 5-0 in that last 5. He's coming off that third round knockout win over Josh Quinlan in his UFC debut. He's taking on Nikolay Veretennikov. Nikolay is 12-4 in his career. 4-1 in his last 5. He is making his short notice UFC debut. Danny Barlow is a rangy striker. He's got very real power. He wants to work at that range traditionally, but he will enter the pocket with some lead uppercuts and some hooks. Even though he's got a bunch of early finishes, he does take his time. He doesn't rush in. He doesn't headhunt. He doesn't look for the finish. He just finds them. He's got powerful kicks as well. He's all around a very dangerous guy. He does not love pressure. He'll tend to shell up and then shoot a takedown. On the ground, though, he's got some solid BJJ and very good positioning. I mentioned he's coming off that third round knockout over Josh Quinlan in that UFC debut. He's taking on Nikolay Veretennikov. This guy's a powerful, aggressive striker. He plots forward. He sends everything with power. He will occasionally set things up with some low kicks, but for the most part, he comes in throwing huge hooks and launching rights. He's durable. He has no problem with a dogfight. You can exploit his wrestling if you want to go that route. But if you do take him down, he stays really busy, works his way back up. He is riding a 3-fight win streak into his short notice UFC debut. Listen, a lot of people did not like this take. I'm going to pick Danny Barlow. I'm picking him to win. He was already on this card. He's young. He's fast. Clearly a very, very good fighter. All I'm saying here is I don't think he should be an almost 4-1 favorite. He's relatively unproven. He's 8-0. He's not, I mean, who is he beaten to be a 4-1 favorite? Josh Quinlan in the third round, I love to see a late finish. I love to see it. That means you're still looking for it. You're still working. You keep your power. I loved all of that. But Josh Quinlan hasn't looked the same since USADA knocked on his door. So I do think Danny Barlow wins. But if Veretennikov wants to come forward, stay in the face, make it ugly. This guy is good. He's been in a lot of dogfights, a lot of firefights, has a lot of fights outside of an octagon. Veretennikov can make this ugly. And the only thing I'm saying here is I wouldn't get too wild with a 4-1 favorite that only has 8 fights in his entire career. I'd be careful here. And Jacob thinks Danny Barlow's the future. So go ahead, Jakey boy. And he might be.
I actually think I picked against him. I think I had Josh Quinlan in that fight because I wasn't sold on a guy like Danny Barlow. I said in that breakdown that he's a guy that really just kind of relies on the left-handed guy. That's what he wants to only throw, right? He'll occasionally pump that jab out there, but typically it's just a long, rangy left hand that he tries to snipe you with, and without anything else, he's going to struggle against real competition who can kind of see that type of stuff coming. Good news for him is Nikolay, not really that guy. He wants to just kind of brawl, and he will kind of chase you. And when you're chasing a sniper like Danny Barlow, you're probably going to get put the fuck out. I don't like his speed and his footwork. I don't like his speed and the striking. People have said that Quinlan was landing some decent shots on Danny Barlow. Quinlan explodes in. He is a fast guy. When he goes in, it is boom, and he is throwing a combination. Nikolay is going to be a guy that's like, and in one of those exchanges, Danny Barlow is going to land one of those left hand to God, and he's going to send Nikolay to his maker. I'm not a big Danny Barlow guy, but I believe that left hand is going to be there. This guy is primed, and ready to get sniped, I believe. I think Danny's going to get it done.
He could. If Danny blows through Nikolay, which he might. I've picked Danny to win. My only hesitation here was the dude's 4-1, and he's going into his second UFC fight.
Who is Nikolay to be devil's advocate? Who is Nikolay to be anything but a 3-1 dog? Who is he?
Nikolay's a guy that has proven that he can march forward, take a beating, continue moving forward, and stay in somebody's face. And we've
He's
seen
not
it
gonna-
over
he-
16
that's-
fights. He
that's
has double the
regional
amount of
guys.
fights.
You can't just plot
Danny
forward.
Barlow only beat regional guys.
You cannot plot forward against people like Danny Barlow who keep
do you know?
range and one through snipe. Because, Angelo, I make so much money doing this, and I break down fights so beautifully week in and week out. That's how the fuck I know. Because I watch film every week, every Sunday,
So you're
6, 7,
comfortable
8
laying
hours.
out $350 on Danny
I'm
Barlow
comfortable
to win 100.
getting even more aggressive, and I have Danny Barlow by KO, Angelo. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but Danny Barlow by KO, you're going to get better odds. What are the odds on that?
Look it up. I'm not your fucking go check the odds, boy. You got a fucking computer in front of you, too.
Kind of
Ask
are.
the question, figure it out.
Kind of are. We don't have DraftKings fantasy lines for this yet because this fight is new-ish. I also picked Danny Barlow, so let's be clear. We both picked the 4-1
Yeah, this
favorite.
is typical Angelo. I
Yeah,
picked
typical
Danny,
Angelo.
but be
Be careful.
careful. Be
Correct.
careful. Every fight. Even somebody in the chat today was, why is Angelo so wishy-washy? Every day, I'm picking this guy, but the other person could
All right,
win.
don't be
Angelo
careful.
every week.
Don't be careful. Don't be careful. Be reckless. Be ridiculous. Don't be careful. Throw him in 40 different parlays. Overexpose the shit out of it.
I have $100 on Danny
for it.
Barlow by KO TKO at plus 155.
Plus money. That makes a little more sense than minus 400, doesn't
And
it?
those odds are plus 110 now. So if you were a premium member, you would have got plus 155 when I posted that. Now they're plus 110. So it's probably going to be minus money by fucking Saturday. I'll tell you that.
There you go. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It's only $10 an entire month. Jacob just gave you a 40-point use case for premium right there. He just gave you a bet that's plus 110 right now. It was plus 140 the other day.
55.
Plus 155, that 45-point swing could literally, if your unit's $100, now you're going to get 110 in profit before you would have gotten 155 in profit. That $45 difference could be the difference between winning or losing money. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Unlock all the bets, all the picks, all the tools, the insight, and more. And you will get UFC 305 in that mix. We got a couple more Super Chatterooskies. $4.99 from Luis Rodriguez. Had nose surgery today to open the airways. Asked the doc to also make me look like Jacob. He delivered. I'm the Latino Jacob.
Mi hermano.
Here is a thanks, fellas. Here is a thanks.
Gracias, mi hermano. Gracias, mi hermano.
Thank
Don't look
you,
at this.
Luis.
Don't look at this. You can look at this.
So he gingified you?
Excuse me? Are you, I don't
Well,
know
he
if
said
you're allowed
make
to
me
use
look
that
like...
word.
He said make me look like Jacob, so I imagine he removed about 6 inches in his shins, 4 inches in his cock, and then dyed his hair red.
Well, you remove 4 inches of the cock, and now people aren't getting hurt.
$9.99 from Jacob Schaefer. Just joined. Sucks to be late. Love you guys. Thank you, Dan. Even got my wife watching you guys with me every week, and she enjoys too. We Want Picks is the best. Thank you, Jacob. And to Jacob's wife, I apologize for the debauchery that comes out of, like, look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Tell her, ask her if she likes this. What's her name, Jacob?
I'm a snake.
I'm a
snake
Jake as well.
Yeah.
See if she likes rocking like this.
What an absolute mess. Let's see.
See if she likes rocking like this, huh? You liking that, huh?
She doesn't.
That's my
Nobody does.
Instagram. If you want to be a cheater. Uh-huh.